Hi, everybody. Welcome to our fifth episode of Take 5 at 5. So, welcome to the show. First of all, I would like to give all of you a high five. Yes. So, if you are here, please give us a high five. Yes, high five. Please type in the comment box there. Give us a high five so that we know you are here. Yes, I am super excited today. Time flies. This is our fifth episode, and today we are privileged and honored to have another guest. He is already here with us, and who is he? He is none other than Mr. Kua. Yay! Mr. Kua, thank you for being here. Right.
Thank you.
So before we start, right? Let me just give you a brief bio data about Mr. Kua so that we can get to know him a bit more. So, Mr. Kua is a pragmatic business person. So the keyword here is pragmatic. So, down to earth, he is looking at business in four perspectives. How many perspectives? Four. Four perspectives, because sometimes if you look at one perspective, it might be very biased. So what are the four perspectives he looks at? He looks at businesses, sales, marketing, as well as people. So these are the four perspectives, right? So his work experience, he spent most of his career life in the FMCG market. He was the country manager for Gillette, as well as the general manager for L'Oreal. Wow, these are all big names. So, Mr. Kua, thank you for being here with us. And today, he has an interesting topic that he would like to share with all of you. So, what are the topic? What is the name of the topic? The topic is how to stay relevant in the new economy. So the keyword here is what? Relevant. So if you are here, please let us know you are here. Just type hi, or give us a high five in the comment box so that we know you are here. No, we don't want to make this show like short sendiri. We just talk here and then there's no engagement. So we like to have a lot of questions from all of you so that we can make this show as relevant as possible. I promise you, in 30 minutes, Mr. Kua and I will answer as many questions as possible for all of you. All right. So, who is already here? Thank you. Mien is already here. Thank you, Mien, for tuning in. Thank you, Bakstan. Yes, Bakstan, for being here. Right. So please put your comment in the chat box so that we know, what are the questions that you would like to ask us. So now, we're gonna go straight to the question. Yes, what is the first question that you want to ask Mr. Kua? Yes, Mr. Kua. So the first question is, after the COVID-19, as we all know, a lot of changes are already happened. So can you briefly tell us what are the challenges as well as what are the changes has happened in the marketplace?
All right. First of all, thank you, Houston, for hosting. And hi, I'm Kua here to everybody. Nice to see you here. For me, actually, I'm looking at it from a business point rather than from a social point, okay, or health point. What I noticed actually is that, in this economy, of course, the market forces have somehow changed. For example, there's MCO, and then you have people doing some panic buying. More people are using e-wallet, and then consumers could be using more online like what we are doing right now. So these are some of the things that is happening that have changed the market forces. And this is one part of it. With the change of the market forces in this case, which means that actually our customers, the people that we service, okay, which are our customers, have also adapted to the change. And this is very, very important because if they have adapted to the change, and if we as a suppliers to them do not adapt to the change, or what you just mentioned, change with the change, then the tricky part here then will be less relevant. So that's why today's topic is really about how can we be relevant to the new economy, because not that everything has changed. Some things still go back to normal, but some would have a mixture of the normal plus the new normal and so on. So the question actually is that regardless of which is the case, we are not here to spend time whether it's going to be normal, abnormal, or new normal. What we want to do actually is that how do we stay relevant to the new economy? So which means how can we be still relevant to our existing customers? And how can we also be relevant to new customers that in the past have no interest in our service and products, but now suddenly they are really wanting to get our services. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kua, for your comment on that. So before we proceed to the next question, a lot of people who are tuning in already. Hi to Jin Lim. Hi for tuning in. Hi to Ra Chong. Hi Mui Han. Wow, very nice to see. Emily. Hi Emily. Hi Ellen. Yes. Mui Han again. Hi Mui Han. Ellen. Ellen's a friend of mine. Hi.
Hi, Roy.
Roy, yes. All right. Boon Kian, hi. Okay. And Mui Han again. Well, yes. Mui Han is our friend here. Yes, new normal comment from Mui Han. New economy, yes. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Penang. Tony Leong. Wow, yes. Wow. Like Tony Leong. Okay. Yes, I think, yeah lah. Only at the back looks like Tony Leong. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I think what is important before we proceed, right? Just want to just let us know that what type of business you are in right now. You know,
Yes.
I think it's possible, you know, so that we know, so that we can interact, you know, as much as possible. When we ask Kua the question, you know, we want to also skew towards the industry you are in. So please type in the text box to let us know what industry you are in. What industry, like as if for example, if it's travel, you just type travel, printing, training, or if you're a housewife, you can just also put housewife. So I think housewife also need to be relevant now.
It is. It is. We'll discuss that.
Yes, we'll discuss that as well. All right. Yes, we love your comment. Please let us know what industry you are in. Yes, what industry you are in. Yes, comment below so that we can actually look at your industry and give you some tips. Who knows? You know, after listening to these tips, right, you can also pivot in the right way. Okay. Now, we were talking about the changes just now. Nonetheless, like it or not, we are forced to change by this current situation. But to me, I always believe change is good. Okay.
Yes.
Even though we don't like the fact that you have to go through the changes, but at the end, we will survive this, right? If we will become better. Now,
Yes.
the second question is, now changes are happening. You know, people already know changes. I think a lot of viewers here also know. Okay, a lot of changes happening. We know already. You know, we hear this, hear that. You know, in the news, or we know. Okay, things are not going to be the same. So the second question is how companies should adapt. You know, that is a very important question. We want Mr. Kua to explore with us. You know,
Yes.
the company change the whole product. You know, or should company change the whole business model? They close shop, they venture into new things, or how should they adapt? Or is there a model that people can follow? Mr. Kua.
Okay, thank you for the question. Yeah, it is very relevant. So I will not talk about or start bickering on what is happening right now because I think most of us know, very clearly. But what is more important actually is that from a business point, actually, how do we be relevant to the new economy? Okay, some things may go back to normal, as I mentioned earlier, but some will definitely change, which is a mixture between the previous plus now, or some could be totally different. And that's okay. The question actually is that with the products that we have, assuming I have a pen, how can I still make it relevant to the current customers and to our new customers? So this is where we'll discuss more as a scope. Yeah. So one of the things, if you look at it, to give you some examples, at one point about a year or two back, when we actually banned straws, what will happen? When we ban straws, suddenly paper straws become important, and suddenly metal straws become another new trend. The moment when the government start to ban something called plastic bags, suddenly the corn-based plastic bags start to spring, people bring their tiffin and so on. So therefore, you can say that actually, when you press something down, something else will pop up. And these are what we call changes. It could be changes because it's reducing. It also can be changes because it's increasing. So that's why this is the economy about. And the moment when there is an MCO, suddenly what we realize that actually food delivery becomes so important. So all these are part of the new economy. Some things will go away, but I think I have get used to this so-called takeaway for lunch meals and so on. That actually I think I may do takeaway more nowadays after the MCO is over. The reason is because it saves some time, and then I realized that it has become a bit of my new habit. All right, so this is for the economy. Yeah.
Yes, so Kua, we have a few of our viewers here. They have put down the nature of business that they are in. Wow, I can see Alan say here he's a house husband.
Yes.
I think it's kind of adaptation that's happening. Housewife has become going to work and husband stay at home. Good job, Alan. Continue to be the best house husband. We have Jin Lim, automation and control system service provider. Okay, maybe Jin, can you please let us know a bit deeper what is automation and control system service provider? Because I don't know, maybe Kua, you know what is it about, so that we can dive into that sector. Yes, Mihan is asking, what is the greatest change you anticipate happening in the market? Okay, so we will get Kua to help us explain this question as well. I think change, fantastic. This is going to happen to us, and how can we anticipate the change is going to affect us? So maybe Kua, you would like to look into these few comments.
Sure. I think first of all, actually, is that thank you for the question. I think the greatest change over here that we will be facing after MCO, in a very generic way, is actually we start to have more choices. Whether do we go back to the our old lifestyle, go back to our old lifestyle or the MCO lifestyle, or we have a choice of continuing to do social distancing and so on. I can choose to pay e-wallet. I can use to do video conferencing. I can still meet up in person. I can use Grab. I can take Grab. I can drive my car. So I think the key word here is that there will be more choices. And it is not for me to say, but probably with a bit of market research and so on, we need to monitor actually is that what our choices are more relevant to them in a different scenario. So I think the most biggest change will be the choices that we have.
Okay, so Jean Lim is saying remote monitoring a process through smart sensor cloud computing.
Okay. So it's interesting because there is a few economies that spring out because of the current situation. The first one is what we call the stay-home economy. People are staying home. When people are staying home, the needs are different. So when the needs are related to money, you can just call it economy. All right. So therefore, in the case, there's a stay-home economy. And then you have another economy that's interesting called the sanitizing economy, which seems to want to sanitize everything. So there's another economy coming up, is health economy, because of so-called the virus, we need to be healthy and so on. Supplements has shot up, has increased in sales as well, and people are trying to be healthy in the different ways. All right, so this is and the other one, of course, is naturally online economy has also changed. So these are the economies that actually we as business owner or as suppliers, as employee of companies, we need to monitor to see actually when are these things going to be relevant for us. The reason is because they could be our new segment, new channels, or new customers.
Okay, exactly. So the key word here is relevant. How can we still stay relevant? I think one example that I can relate is that actually like an apple, when people consume an apple, right? So there are many reasons why people consume an apple, right? It could be because people eat for fiber, for nutrient, for vitamin, or for the taste. Could be just sweet. So I just like the taste. Just eat. So now at all these different rows of the apple can be sold at different time. So if you're gonna sell it to perhaps somebody who needs a fiber so that can pass motion better, so you can say, oh, this apple contains how many grams of fiber? Is that something like that?
Yes, correct. So that's why it's very important actually is that the moment we have a product, be it a pen or a phone, whatever, there are multiple benefits. Okay. But the most important benefit is the one that solves my problem. To be very specific, customers or consumers don't really buy your product. They buy the solutions that your product can offer. So therefore, but the solutions keep changing because, as I mentioned just now, as the customers start to adapt to different ways, all right, they may have different needs. And if we don't change according to this change, then we'll be less relevant. And that's why we need to really change with the change. And of course, later part we discuss how do we change with the change. Yeah, so make sure that actually for our audience who have invested their time with us, we really want to make sure you have something to take back.
Okay, so please comment what you have learned so far, or perhaps if you have any questions you want to ask, especially on your industry, what kind of changes that you have been doing, or what are the challenges that you face when you are, doing your best to change? What is the, like for me, as a team builder in Action, so we are also facing this tremendous challenge right now, because the business that we are in is that we have to go physically to a hotel or to a customer's place to actually conduct a team building program. With this current lockdown, even though company got budget, also they are not able to do. So the question I want to ask myself is how can I still stay relevant to my client, right? And thanks to Mr. Kua, he gave me some coaching. Yesterday he said, customers still want team bonding, but maybe team bonding is not so important right now. But what is more important is team engagement or maybe team motivation.
Yes.
So can you do something to address that need right now? So if you can find out a solution, right, to address the need right now, then you have the market. Okay, so what do we have here in the comment? So Roy is asking, do you foresee any big change in the saloon industry due to the social distancing? Yes. This is another interesting industry is saloon.
Okay. I'm torn between right now. I'm in a catch-22 situation. First of all, I hope that actually I can start cutting my hair because it's getting longer and longer. One thing I regret that I did not do before the MCO, before March 18, was cut my hair very, very short. That's the situation. But the question actually is that as it becomes 40 over days by now, I get accustomed to having longer hair. So when the MCO is over, I have choices. I can have choices to keep my hair longer. I have a choice of cut my own hair. I have a choice of going back to a salon. So the choices will be changing. So the first thing that Mui Han has mentioned was that one thing that I anticipate actually that we as a consumers and customers will have more choices. So in this case, which choice do we do? And this is where you have option 1, 2, 3, 4. Every option is that it's like a promoter shouting, can you please come to me? And it's where it's going to be quite interesting. Now, as to the question about salon industry, my own interpretation actually is that females especially may decide to keep long hair to balance between, this is my speculation, to keep long hair but still looks good because of the social distancing and so on. In fact, I will actually use this as an example afterwards, on the last part. How do we find out what are the changes and how we as companies should adapt?
Okay, right. So we have a few comments here. Jin Lim is saying, agree, Mr. Kua, customers are interested in the solutions, not the product. Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. And Mui Han is asking, what are the simple steps for business leaders to decide how to pivot? I think that will lead to the third question, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes. So Mui Han, hold on for a while. We will answer your question when we move to the third question. So there's another comment from Buckstan. Yes, Buckstan saying that I think we can expect a recession. My question is, will business become very hard to do when there is a lack of liquid in the market? What are your advice? Yes. So,
okay, sorry. You want me to answer now?
Yes, Mr. Kua, go ahead.
Okay, thank you for the question, Buckstan. Yes, I wouldn't say that recession because there is a technical recession and a perceived recession. So I leave it to Bank Negara to deal with that. My question actually is that there will be people who will be spending more cautiously or have less money to spend. That may happen. However, okay, within that situation, okay, I won't say that actually it's free for everybody. There will still be money in the market. But I will say that not the one that works harder. The ones that work harder and think harder will be the one are able to capture this, because that is what the subject is all about. How do we be relevant to our customers or new customers? I give you some examples over here. Yeah. Now, in a scenario, okay, in this sort of scenario, you will see that actually the customers are, in a way, they have a new problem. But again, the fact that they have a new problem, which means they do not know the solution. Therefore, okay, we as companies or as suppliers need to actually educate, okay, how our products can be seen in a different way to solve their problems. And every day I'm learning something new, whether it's from Taobao, all the way to online, and I'm learning something new. And the funny thing actually is that, nobody or very few people that educate us how to solve our problems. If we can do that, I think we'll be the one that is going to be think harder, therefore work smarter.
Okay, thank you, Kua, for your answer. We are moving straight away to the third question. To answer Muihan, as well as I think all of you who are tuning to us, thank you for staying with us. I hope you get value from what we have shared so far. I think the third question that we want to dive into is that how to modify your product to be relevant to your current customer. Is there a framework that we can follow? Or is this that because I see all of them are doing this online, so you must go online? Everybody is doing Facebook Live, so I must do Facebook Live. Is there a model that we can follow so that we don't follow others blindly, and then we can actually pivot it in the right way, right? So, Mr. Kwak, over to you.
Yes, actually, one of the things I would like to share here is a very simple process called a 5-step framework that actually we can use in order how can companies change with the change because of our customers. Yeah, and the framework actually can also be an agenda that actually anyone here can go back to the office, post this up, and then through the questions you're able to do it. Of course, in a situation where you need facilitator, you also can, but you can still do it in the office by yourself. I mean, with your team. Now, the first thing actually is to ask a very important question. What are the business norms, the normal things in the business that have changed last year and this year, or last year and now? What are the changes that you see? Okay, forget about this 2 to 3 weeks time. Maybe what are the changes that really have seen? I can share with you. Some of it could be as simple as they want to have higher credit terms. Okay, because I remember they want to have more cash flow, so they want to pay later. That could be a change. They also could be in that customers actually are so worried about things that is, let's say, non-genuine products. So they want original parts, original things, because worried that they buy the wrong thing. There are some people who will be very concerned about health and so on compared to the past. So if we go back to the 5 steps, this is called the first step. What really have changed? So once you have looked at the change, okay, what really the norms has changed, the second part then it goes into actually is that it's needs. Why customers change? There must be a reason. They don't change for the sake of changing. It's basically to find out the reason underneath it, why customers are changing. So that will be understanding their needs. So
okay.
So
in the meantime, while we are diving into these 5 steps, right? I think hopefully we can also answer the questions from Siu Fun Leong. Sure whether she is asking any ideas for business in automotive and real estate.
Yes. Okay. While on this one, I'll quickly answer to Leong on this. Thank you for the questions. 3 days ago, okay, one of I'm also partnering with a real estate agency. Okay, we held the first live selling session for customers. Okay, first live webinar to sell a new project. Okay, in that day itself, we have closed at least one unit of close to 1 million ringgit in KL through live webinar.
Wow.
So you ask me right now, the question right now actually is that if I were to tell a customer right now, can I go to this new location after MCO? But customer, you don't have to go. Potential buyer, you don't have to go. I go only. Okay, and when I go only, I'll use my video phone to do video conference to show you how the whole place is. Now, let's be honest. Each time we go to look at a house, what you're looking at actually is 4 walls. It's basically about the layout here and there. The kitchen a bit smaller, whatever. But again, through video conferencing, it could be another way of selling because right now we have choices. The more important part is, since they have choices, we need to be, how as a company or real estate or whatever, to be relevant to the customers. So now how are we relevant if we're going to do video conferencing? When we are there, they are not there. The relevance actually is that we make sure it's social distancing for our customers, the investors. And then suddenly it become relevant.
Yes, I think it is true. I can also see a lot of social media people are doing property by using Facebook Live just to walk you through the property in China. I saw that. It's really impressive. You can literally like you are in the property itself.
Yes, correct.
So there another comment from TK. TK is, I think it's a question. Perhaps maybe when we answer the 5 steps, you can answer that questions. The supply chain has been massively disrupted. Every business is part of the chain link with the disruption. How can the OEM connect and supply their products and services to the end user without the middleman? Yes.
Let me read the whole question. Every business is part of the chain link with the disruption. How can the OEM connect and supply their product services to the end user? Okay. All right. For this particular part, I think there are 2 questions I would like to ask from a business consultation point of view. The first thing actually is that why do they want to go direct? That's a very important question because whether we like it or not, especially those projects that is more complex and so on, besides pricing, there's still a lot of other factors that are involved. The first one, very important actually, could be actually trust. Trust will include rapport and so on, because all these things will be important because especially if I'm an employee. If I'm an employee, why should I risk the entire thing, for the sake of the company at my career risk? So we need to be aware of that. If I'm a business owner, it can be, but again, are we going to do a better job than the other person? That is where I think it's important. Now, on the second part, if we were to do it that way, we need to really understand actually what is something, we call it modeling excellence, what is something that these intermediate parties have that we don't have. If we have everything and more, please go ahead. But if we are short in a lot of things and try to do it, we are not only disrupting the supply chain, we are disrupting our own business actually. Hopefully that answers the questions.
I think that makes sense. That makes sense. I think there's certain integrity, right, and way of doing business in all different industries. Like in our training industries, we have the training providers, we have the trainers, we have the customers. So we have to still continue to see how we don't step into other people's rice bowl just because we want to survive. At the end, it's still collaboration. So Kua, maybe perhaps you can help us to summarize using the 5 steps. I think that would be very nice for us to look at how it's relevant.
Sure. Thank you. I think the first step we talk about it, what are the norms that have changed, and number 2, what customers have changed, and the most important part, understand why customers are changing, because then we know where the problems and needs are. Then the next one actually is that then we say, the needs all the same one. Yes, the needs could be exactly the same, but in step 3, we say the priorities have changed. Last time, cost may not be so important, quality is the most important. Now could be reverse. Last time, maybe price more important. Now supply become more important. So we need to know whether the priorities have changed for the customers. And once we have that ready, based on these needs and priorities, what are the bottlenecks they are facing? In other words, what problems they have. Once we understand that part already, then we are very sensitive to the changes at the customer side. Now that's external. Now we look internally based on the product that we have, what are the benefits that we can choose to answer to the new needs or the revised priorities. That becomes an interesting part.
All right. So there is also a comment by Mui Han saying that totally agree with Kua. we need to focus on what is value add to our business. No point doing too many things, but mastering none.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Jim saying Sales 101 says that a personal touch is fundamental to a successful sales. Does using technology takes away this personal touch?
Depends on the type of industry. Personal touch can come to 2 points. One is the brand touch, which is very powerful in an online basis. If you ask me to log into something that is so-called, the branding has been very strong. I may not know the person, but I do know the brand. So in a way, it's a connection. However, in a lot of industry, while it is still doing a lot online, but one of the very important part is still personal touch. In fact, in those B2B business, it is even more important because since things are more online, the differentiator between us and the other customer is basically the personal touch beside our online sophistication that we have, just like our competitors. So in other words, if we do into Sales 101, when the basics are fulfilled, the differences become your competitive advantage. When the differences are fulfilled, the preferences become your competitive advantage. So it is, so that for example, if me and Houston both were doing training, if I can speak Spanish and he cannot, then I have the little preferences if my customer is Spanish, for example. All right, so basics, then to the differences, then to the preference, become the difference, it becomes our advantages in this case.
Okay, thank you. There is a comment from TK as well saying, imagine if the hotels are closing down and tourists will later find it hard to get rooms to stay. That is a supply chain disruption. So I think, yes, hotel industry is another industry that is facing challenges. So what is your view about, how should they still stay relevant?
Okay, actually it's very interesting. What we want to understand is a very simple concept. It's a 4-wall called rooms. So the rule in the past is that if a tourist come, they have no friends to stay, that's why they stay there. Okay, then with Airbnb, things have changed a little bit as well, for example. Okay, now for those rooms that are available right now, in fact, some of it are being used by authority as a quarantine locations. It has changed.
Yeah.
Okay, so the roles will continue to change, and this is the beauty of changes, because the question is very simple. Either we change or we are forced to change. We choose. It's still a choice. I agree with Mui Han. It's still a choice. You can change or you can force to change. It's still a choice that we have. All right.
Okay. So we hope that you have learned something from our show so far. I think this topic can go very, very long. However, we want to keep the session short so that we can just go into the key important point right now. Before you leave, we have announcement. Mr. Kua will be at our virtual fire grill tomorrow. Yes, and he will be there to dive into another interesting grilling topic. Must we lay off staff to save the company? Wow. Okay, so we have already about 140 sign up. 140 sign up. Do register. Go to virtualfiregrill.eventbrite.com. We will post the link in the comment below. Mr. Kua will be there to answer questions. So perhaps, Mr. Kua, you can tell us what are the things that they can get when they sign up for this virtual grill?
Okay. Yeah, but the virtual fire grill here is tomorrow, and I actually we are honored in a way that actually a lot of people would like to get more, and we will be doing our part to make sure that we share as many things as we can within the stipulated time. Now, actually, there's going to be a few things that we discussed. Some companies at this point in time are actually almost have no choices. They need to close down. So what they can do, or before they do that, what they can do. Some know that they need to downsizing or right sizing. In this case, what are other options available? Is it the right one to do? So we will discuss that as well. For example, if your cost of operation, that means if the staff only accounts for 10% of your total cost, if you were to do that, will it really generate result? We need to look at what are the options available. And some actually is that it's not at that stage yet. But the question is, what are the options you have so that actually we only consider layoff as one of the many options. So tomorrow, what we'll discuss actually is that yes, layoff is an option, but at the same time, layoff may not be the only option. And it's quite interesting because we have different people from different perspectives. And I'm really looking forward to, the panelists as well as the audience. I'm quite sure there'll be a lot of variety and discussion so that all of us will go back with some very important ideas that we can really take action after this session.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think this is another fantastic topic for us to really explore, to make companies stay relevant, business stay relevant. Sometimes, when it comes to people, it is the most challenging. Is it possible or is it necessary for us to lay off people just to stay relevant in terms of saving the company? Or can we do something else? To find out more, please sign up for our virtual fire grill tomorrow at 10:30 Zoom, using Zoom. All right. So thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. We will see you tomorrow again for another episode. So thank you, Kua, for being here. Right. So, high five.
You're welcome, and thank you everybody for investing your time.